Why is it so hard to find lasting love in the gay community? Is it the endless options, the hookup culture, or is it something deeper? Let's get real about why gay relationships are tough and why it's not just you. So, if you've ever felt like gay relationships are more complicated than they should be, you're definitely not alone. So, why are gay relationships so hard? Let's break it down. First off, unlike straight couples, we don't have that biological clock ticking in our heads, telling us to settle down and have kids by a certain age. We don't have the societal pressure of, oh, I need to start a family or I should be doing this. So in a way, we have more freedom to explore, and that's great, right? But that same freedom can make it harder to lock into something serious. When you don't have to settle down, it's easy to keep your options open forever. And speaking of options, let's talk about dating apps. So we have Tinder, Grindr, Scruff, and some more. And it's like we've got the world's biggest menu of potential dates, hookups, and everything in between. And let's be real, it's basically Uber Eats for human connections or human sex. Need validation? Swipe. Bored? Grindr. Lonely? Let's have a hookup. It has never been easier to have sex with a random person. And it gets more and more difficult to just meet someone for a normal date. Because be careful, don't call it a date because your date might find that really scary. Yeah? And all these dating apps and having sex with I don't know how many people is like a never-ending buffet. And why would you pick just one dish when there are hundreds more waiting? And yes, that's kind of like the current gay hookup culture. It's everywhere, especially on apps like Grindr, where convenience rules. You're bored, log in, talk to someone, tap someone, and fast, boom, you're done. And while that can be great for fun, I guess, and short-term connections, it makes building a deeper, lasting relationship feel like an impossible task. Finding someone who's genuinely looking for something more can feel like finding a needle in a haystack. And even within the gay community, there's a lot of judgment against, sex dates, hookup culture, but also judgment against guys that are actually looking for something serious, like they are from another planet or something. And let's not forget the whole superficial body image thing. Gay culture often puts a ridiculous amount of pressure on us to look perfect, whether it's having abs that I don't have, perfect skin, or fitting into some ideal body type. And it's actually really easy to feel like you're not enough if you don't fit that mold or if you go to like certain parties. And yeah, that can lead to relationships being based on looks rather than something real. It's hard to build a genuine connection when the focus is more on the six-pack than the person behind it. What about lesbian couples? It's interesting because from the outside, it often seems like lesbian couples stay in relationships longer and with more ease. And why is that? Well, one theory is that women are generally more in touch with their emotions and are better at being vulnerable and communicative about them. It's that emotional connection and willingness to communicate openly that makes their relationships feel more stable. And women in general might also be more inclined to nurture and invest in the emotional side of a relationship, which in turn creates a strong foundation. While gay men often deal with the pressures of body image and the hookup culture, lesbian relationships tend to thrive on deeper emotional bonds. And let's also not forget that men see sex usually different than women. So it's easier for two men to have sex and not have any emotions connected to it than two women or a man and a woman. Because men, whether you're straight or gay, usually have the same type of sex preferences, which is like men can have sex with someone without having an emotional bond, right? And everyone is different on this spectrum. You can also be demisexual, which means that you need some sort of emotional bond with someone to have sex with that person. I am, for example, demisexual, which means that, you need like some sort of connection with someone to have sex with them, because otherwise you just don't really feel the urge to have sex with that person. For example, there can be a very handsome person that I meet, but if I haven't talked to him, I'm like unable to have sex with that person. I feel very uncomfortable. But yeah, in a nutshell, no urgency, endless options, body image pressure. It creates a culture where it's easy to keep things surface level, but harder to dig deep. And most of the time, it feels like we're all just playing along, swiping through profiles, hoping to find something real or maybe not. But the truth is, we're often just skimming the surface. And here's the real thing. Real, lasting relationships aren't about finding the hottest guy on the app or locking down the most matches. It's about someone who sees you, has patience with you beyond all the superficial stuff. And it's really about building something meaningful in the middle of all this noise. So yeah, gay relationships can be tough, but when you find the right one, it's probably worth every struggle. So thank you so much for watching. And if you're out there there navigating the chaos of gay dating and relationships, drop a comment below and let's talk about how to rise above the noise. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button for more tips on love, dating, and everything in between. Stay real and stay fabulous. Bye bye.